Hello doll lovers, it's Janie. Welcome to another video on my channel and the last video of 2023, which is absolutely crazy to me. I do not know where all of the time has gone. It seems like 2020 was just a few months ago and here we are. It is absolutely insane, but I am so thankful to have been able to spend another year with you all. I wasn't sure if I would be able to keep my channel after moving to pursue my dance career just because of how busy I was going to be, and I wasn't quite sure if I would have the time, but I have had the time to almost keep up a regular weekly uploading schedule, which has been amazing, and it's been a lot of work as I've been very busy, but it has been so worth it because you all have still stuck around and watched my videos and left your usual inspiring and sweet comments down below, which you guys have no idea how much those help me. Those really keep me going, just being able to hear from you all and interact with you all. It's what makes doing videos worth it. But I hope you all have had an amazing year, and I am so excited to hopefully go forward into 2024 with my channel, continuing to create content for you all. But for this video, just to sort of close things out, and like I mentioned in my little comment section of my channel, I missed last week's upload because I had the flu and I was unable to do any filming or editing, and I still kind of sound a little sick if that's why I sound this way, but I wanted to film this video for you all, and I am here in my childhood room just to sort of give I wanted to wait, one, until I was feeling better, and two, to give you guys this familiar place to go back to. But I just wanted to have a quick little chit chat and talk about a few things, just future plans for the channel. And also I had some interest in another Q&A. So I have taken down the questions that people have been wanting to ask me since the last Q&A video I did, and I'm going to be answering some of those today, which is super exciting. And I also have a very exciting announcement that I am going to share with you all at the end of the video. But I think for the first part, we can go ahead and get started with the most exciting part of the video, which is the Q&A. I have a few questions here and I have them written down, and I am just going to go ahead and you guys have asked me some really great questions, and not all of them are doll related, which is very interesting. I am going to try and read the like the YouTube usernames attached to the people who asked these questions, just so that you if you did ask me a question, then you will know it was you. But I might butcher these, so please don't come for me. I apologize in advance. But the first one is, I think, Sheldon Washer with an E at the end. It's spelled just like that, Sheldon Washer with an E at the end. And their question was, do you collect anything other than dolls? Which is actually a great question. As you can see behind me, I actually do collect other things. I collect childhood books that I used to read, and also books that children's books that are connected to some sort of dolls. I have like Star Darlings books here, and these are all like Boxcar Children, and I collect like Babysitter's Club, Nancy Drew. I love reading in general, so not only do I collect like other books, like books not for children that I actually read, and I do have quite a large collection of regular books, I also do collect certain children's books. And I do have a lot of fun with that because I go into the thrift stores and I can almost often find one that I don't have, especially when it's with things like the Boxcar Children, where there are literally hundreds of books. But I also collect Ever After High and Monster High books and things like that. And I do have other collections. I really like collecting like those small like decorative boxes. I don't just grab any sort of box that I see, any sort of decorative box. It has to speak to me. But I do have a small collection of those little boxes. I just think that they're pretty. And I think I collect a few other things as well. I also love nutcrackers, so every year for Christmas I like to get a new nutcracker just because I love ballet and I love the nutcracker, so I do have a small collection of nutcrackers. And I think I also collect keys, like old skeleton keys. I just love like old sorts of vintage things like that. And when I was younger, I loved reading The Secret Garden, and if you're familiar with that book, there's this really beautiful old key that she finds, and it unlocks this magical garden for her, and I used to always want one of my own. And so I collect like those decorative skeleton keys that are really pretty. And amongst those things, I do collect a few others that aren't coming to my mind at the moment, but I do collect things other than dolls and doll related things. I don't really have, nothing is quite as expensive as my dolls, except for maybe my books. I don't have thousands of books, but I do love books. So I do collect other things, but that was an excellent question. And the next one is by RJ8127. I don't think that there's a specific way to pronounce that, so I just read it off. But there are multiple questions, and this one is actually my favorite question that I have received so far. And it was an amazing question. It was, if you could design your dream/signature Barbie doll, how would she look like? What hair type and color? What outfit? Maybe a special feature like color changing, etc. So this is an excellent question, and it actually really made me think, because especially nowadays, Barbie can look like pretty much anything or anyone in the world, which is really, really exciting. So when I was thinking about what, if I could like design my own doll, what would it look like? What would it be? I had to think for a while, because essentially any specific coloring or like combination of, you know, hairs, eyes, skin tone, body type, whatever, essentially whatever you've thought of, they've already made it. So I was thinking about it, and I was just thinking about how there are so many books and there are so many characters in books that I would love to see made into a doll, because I think they would be absolutely beautiful as one, but there have not been any movies or TV shows, or good ones at least, that I feel accurately represent the character. So I was thinking I would love if I could design, if obviously in the ideal world where I'm fabricating this, if I could create like a doll line of dolls that are designed to look like characters from my favorite book series, or any of my favorite books. I would love to see dolls from the Shadowhunter books, or dolls from the Lunar Chronicles, which is another series I love. I do, Lord of the Rings is my all-time favorite, but they do already have Barbies of those. But I would just love to be able to design what I think my favorite characters from my favorite book series would look like. And as far as special features are concerned, I'm not sure if they'd have any special features, but I just think that that would be really cool, because there are a lot of books out there that I absolutely love reading that I would love to see some sort of physical character that are from the books. So I think that honestly is my answer. I'm sorry if it's not what you were expecting. You guys are probably like, oh, I would love to have, like, I don't know, a ballerina Barbie of this character, this person, or whatever. But that's what I think would be really cool, because I have super vivid pictures in my mind of what certain book characters should look like, and I think they would make absolutely amazing dolls. And so I think that would be really cool if I could design that. But yeah. And then they asked me 2 more questions. The other question is, what is your favorite ballet piece to dance and why? And I have done a lot of ballets that I've absolutely loved. And if you're not familiar with ballet, you may not know them. Of course, everybody's familiar with this, and I've absolutely loved dancing the Dance of the Sugar Plum Fairy. That is a solo that I did for many, many years, and it's super nostalgic, and I just love the music, and the solo I just think is so graceful. So I've really loved doing that, but there are a bunch of other ones as well, but I think that one has to probably be, it's the one I've done the most in my life, and also the one that's the most nostalgic, so I'll go with that one. And then the last question they asked me was, what is your favorite season/holiday? Mine would be spring. Oh, that's a really hard question. I love all the seasons, because in Texas, where I have grown up, you don't really get them. You just get brown, crunchy grass in summer, and then it gets a little bit colder, and it's just cold with brown, crunchy grass, and then it's freezing because it's winter and it's brown, crunchy grass, and then you go into spring and you get a couple of months where it's green and beautiful, and then it becomes summer and everything dies because it's so hot, and then you just go back to brown, crunchy grass. But I think I think I like summer a lot because I just love the heat. I love summer vacation. I love the traditions that I have that are, that go in with the summertime. I love that time of year. I get to see a lot of my friends and do a lot of really fun things, go on vacation, and things like that. But my favorite holiday, I think I would have to say is Christmas, just because of not just because it's Christmas, but kind of because it's Christmas, just all of the my particular Christmas traditions and all of the nostalgia that comes with Christmas. I think that is my favorite holiday. But I think if I had to pick, so I like to think of all elements of things. So I said my favorite season just because it's my favorite season of life during that time. And my favorite holiday, but I think my favorite weather, which is not the same thing, but I wanted to answer that. I think it would be fall, just because I love when it's just a little bit cooler and you can wear, your jackets and your sweaters. I myself love sweaters, and the leaves, if you're not in Texas, you get pretty leaves, and I really do like that weather and that season. But so no matter what you meant when you were asking that question, whether it was like specific season because of temperature wise, or if it was like season of life or holiday or whatever, there are all of the answers for you. And then the next question is by another person, and it is by Feel Like So. And they have multiple questions. The first one is, do you have a wish list or grail list of dolls you really want? I do have a wish list and a grail list, not one that I've actually written down, just because I'm not a very picky collector and there are a lot of dolls that I'm very interested in, but in my own brain, and just as a general ballpark, I do have a wish list or a grail list. The next question is by the same person. What doll lines are your favorite to collect? So I did kind of cover this in my last Q&A, but it has been updated because I am now very interested in Rainbow High, Shadow High, and Mermaids. So I think my favorite doll line to collect is Ever After High, very closely followed by Monster High. And then of course Barbie is so diverse and widespread, and there's so many things to collect within Barbie. It is definitely one of my favorite lines to collect, but I think that would have to go to Ever After High, closely followed by Monster High. And then after that, it would be the Rainbow High, Shadow High lines. And then, of course, I love just basically all of the other ones. La Di Da, Cave Club. I really love Star Darlings, Moxie Teens. I only have 2 Moxie Teens and only 2 Star Darlings, but I love those. And there are a few others that I love as well, but those are some of my favorite lines to collect. And then their next question is, do you have any of the frightfully tall ghouls besides Draculaura? They asked me this question when I received that one in the mail. No, I do not. I have one of the tall Maddie Hatter Ever After High dolls, but the only frightfully tall ghoul I have is currently Draculaura. And she is my pride and joy, and I love her so much. And then the next questions are there any doll lines you are specifically trying to finish off? I absolutely love Ever After High, like I said, and I would love to complete my Ever After High collection, and that is probably impossible because they are so expensive, because they have kind of gone obsolete. So it's very hard to find them, and when you do, they're very expensive. But I would love to complete my Ever After High collection. Of course, Monster High too, but that one, there are a lot more dolls that I'm missing. I have over half of all the Ever After High dolls, and I would love to have the rest of them. And my favorite Ever After High doll line that I don't have any from, just because they were already starting to get really expensive when I was collecting, is the Fairest on Ice line. I absolutely love that line, but I don't have any from them. But I think that would be my line that I would love to complete. And then the last question is, are there any doll lines that you do not like at all? Okay, so there aren't really any doll lines that I don't like, that I dislike. There are doll lines that I choose not to collect, just mainly because of not being interested in that particular doll, or just not having the space. But not being interested in a certain doll does not mean I don't like them. It just means that they aren't something that's suited to my tastes. For example, this would be like LOL, OMG, like Hair Amazings, Hair Adorables. Those are probably the biggest ones that are out currently that I just don't collect. Also like Sparkle Girls, because those are more of like a budget line. That being said, I don't ever have any just sort of, oh no, I'm not interested in them because they're of that line. If I find a doll from that line and I think that they're interesting and I like them, I have absolutely no problem with getting them. But there aren't any doll lines that I don't like, just ones that I that aren't quite preferred to my tastes is all. But yes. And also American Girl are they're just so expensive, and I've never really been into the baby doll type dolls, so I don't think I'll ever collect American Girl either, just for that reason, and also because of space, because they're very big and it's hard to find space for dolls that are that size. And my Disney toddler dolls are rapidly taking over my shelf space, but yes. And then, okay, we have the last person. I've only picked 4 people to talk through these questions, because otherwise this video will be very long. But the last one is by 423, and their question is, what got you wanting to be a dancer or a ballerina? And I don't know if I've ever talked about this on my channel before, but I literally cannot remember a time where I didn't want to be a dancer. I remember being as young as 3 years old, watching ballets on the TV and just wanting to do that. And my mom put me in ballet when I was 3, and it's always been something that I have been serious about making into a career. It's never been anything other than, oh yeah, I'm going to do that one day. I never wanted to be like a famous dancer, but I definitely wanted to be a ballerina. And so I don't know what got me into it. I guess just watching ballets as a child, and I had lots of DVDs and VHSs back in the day when there were VHSs of ballets, and I used to love watching those. And Angelina Ballerina, Barbie in the Nutcracker, Barbie Swan Lake, Barbie and the 12 Dancing Princesses, those all sort of solidified my love for ballet. So I guess watching Barbie as well. And then the next and final question, which is a great one, also by 423, is what got you into thrifting, and do you have any interesting or memorable thrifting stories to share? So thrifting, garage sailing, flea market hunts, those are all things that my grandma got me into. I was very, very close with her, and as a child, some of my earliest memories are of going to visit her and my grandpa in Wisconsin, and every single weekend that we were there, we would go to rummage sales. And whenever she would come to visit me, she used to come to visit me in Texas for my birthday every year, also every single spring to come see my ballet performances. But whenever she'd come here, we would go thrifting and rummage sailing as well, of course. And so that's sort of what got me into it, is just that my grandma always did it, and she instilled in me the love for thrifting, garage sailing, buying things used, and that's where I would get a lot of my dolls. And I have so many memorable thrifting stories, so many, and I would love to share them all, but I don't think that there's time, because this video is actually already quite long. I've left my wallet at a thrift store several times. I've gotten dolls for over 20 dolls for $5 before. You guys have seen that one on my channel. But I think the most memorable, not the most memorable, but the story I do want to share is about a thrift store that used to be in Wisconsin called USA Family Thrift. And there isn't one particular story associated with that thrift store, but I got so many dolls from there. They have an amazing story. It was just this small store that was run by an old man and his wife, and in Wisconsin, that is like the origin state of Barbie. And so they wanted to sort of make their thrift store stand out or whatever. So they started taking in specifically like donations for dolls more than everything else, and just stockpiling as many dolls as they possibly could. And for his wife's 50th birthday, the man wanted to bring the newspapers out and have this story run on the thrift store, because once they compiled all of the dolls, they had them like plastered to the walls. They had them like hanging, not like from the ceiling, but like they just had them covering the store. And they had like life-size Barbies acting out scenarios. Like there was like a tree house that they had built with like a Barbie dressed like an explorer holding binoculars up there. And there was a life-size Barbie sticking out of like a giant shark plushie. It was just their legs sticking out. It looked like she was getting eaten by a shark. Just so many fun scenarios, and of course regular size Barbies, just absolutely covering the place. And I used to love going there because it was absolutely full of Barbies. And I started going there from the time I was little, and as I started getting older, I got a reputation there, and I was called the Barbie girl by everybody who worked there. And I built sort of a relationship with the owners, and unfortunately they closed down in 2020 just because of all of the stuff that came with that, so they're gone now. But I will always remember USA Thrift, mainly because my relationship with them kind of started past going from being called the Barbie girl when I was there one day and I saw an Esmeralda Barbie from the Hunchback of Notre Dame on the wall, and I absolutely loved Esmeralda. She was my favorite Disney character ever, and I wasn't, trying to hint at anything at all, but I was like, Mom, look up there, it's Esmeralda. And she was like, oh wow, that's really cool. And the owner came by and he was like, oh, what are you looking at up there? And I was like, oh, that one right there, she's from this Disney movie that I really love. I was probably about 11 years old at the time, and he reached up and he took her down off of the wall and gave her to me. And I still have that doll, and it is one of the most treasured possessions that I own. And they also gave me this doll, which is the original Ponytail Barbie. They gave this to me right before the store closed. I went there one last time and they were like, we have something for you, something to remember us by. And they gave me this doll, which is like one of the most rare Barbies in the world, and like, oh my gosh. And they also, from that point forward, every time I went there, they let me go down into their storage area where all of the stuff is that they hadn't put out on the store yet. And they let me go to the literal floor to ceiling pile of boxes that had just Barbies in them. And they let me go through all of the boxes and pick out as many Barbies as I wanted for $1 a piece, as many clothes as I wanted for $1 a bag. And just because they had so much of it, and that is one of the most insane memories I've ever had, just going to the thrift store, being called the Barbie girl, getting that doll off the wall, going down into the basement, looking through all of the dolls, and then of course being given this one. And that thrift store is just one of the happiest memories that I have, and I think that's the memory that I wanted to share, that kind of accumulates all of my happy thrift store memories. And going there with my grandma and being there was just an amazing memory. But that concludes the Q&A, and before I finish the video, because it is getting very long, I know that I asked this and you guys said we really just love the videos that you already make. But once again, I always want to leave the floor open for you all. If you have any requests for videos, any specific kind of videos, more of any type of video that I'm already making, if you just have any ideas in general for how you would like to see my channel grow and evolve and all of those things, please leave your suggestions down in the comments. I never want you guys to feel like I am only interested in making the same old content if you guys are ready for something else, or just that you aren't unheard in general. I want to make sure that I'm giving you guys the videos that you like, because I mean, one, if you don't like them, you don't watch them, and what am I making videos for? And also just because I enjoy making videos that you all like. So if you guys have any types of videos that you want to see more of, or any new videos, or any ideas in general, please leave your suggestions in the comments. I promise you I do read your comments. And I think for next year, I want to continue making the same kinds of videos I normally make. Whenever I can, going to thrift stores, vlogging them, doing my mail opening videos, doing my like subscriber packages if you guys keep sending me packages, because you guys have absolutely spoiled me this year. This is partially why my channel has been able to keep going, because I've had lots of videos of literally me opening subscriber packages, and it just means so much. And I just want to say thank you so much. And if you guys continue sending me packages, I'll continue opening them on camera, restoration videos, the occasional chit chat, and doll hauls, of course. And I think if I want to do more restoration videos. I think that's the kind of video that I would like to do more of next year, just because I do have a lot of dolls that need fixing, but I don't have a lot of time in which to fix them. So I'm hopefully going to have a little bit more time next year. I don't know if that's possible. Life is only getting busier for me, but I'm going to do my best to keep the videos coming. And I think my channel, I'm just going to keep it going as long as you guys are interested in having it. People have asked me if I ever, now that I, you know, I'm more of an adult and I am busy and have job and all of that stuff, if I plan to continue with my channel. And the answer is yes, because I really enjoy making videos for you all, and I really enjoy my channel, and I say that I will continue making videos and having my channel as long as I enjoy it and as long as you all enjoy it. And so far it seems to still be going strong, so I guess I'll still have my channel next year. But the final thing that I want to share with you all before I end the video, because this video is already so long somehow, I'm so sorry. And I know that these chit chat videos aren't super popular. Not a lot of people watch them just because I'm sitting here talking. But I wanted to make this to sort of talk to you guys about next year and do the Q&A and everything. But the last piece of information is the announcement that I have been waiting to share with you guys for quite some time. Over a year ago, I think, I asked you all if you were interested in me having a Flickr, just for me posting all of my dolls that I have on there for identification purposes for you all, just pictures of the doll that I have and listing all of the information that I have on them. And you guys have said that you were interested in that, so I have created a Flickr. I have been working on it for this entire year just so that it wasn't like blank and empty for you all, but it has quite a few dolls added to it now. Definitely nowhere near close to all of them, but I do plan on continuing to add dolls to it. I just didn't want to wait any longer, and I wanted to share it with you all. Right now it is just Barbie and Rainbow High and Shadow High. And it is not all of them, like I said, but it is getting steadily updated. Every time I get new dolls, every time I have a moment of free time to take pictures of the dolls that I already have, I have been uploading to Flickr. And if you guys would go and give that a follow, I would be very grateful. But it is mainly for you guys. If you need help identifying dolls, that is another way you can reach out to me. You can reach out to me through the comments of Flickr. But this is mostly to help you all with identifying dolls. I have 2 photos of each doll that I have up there, like a full body and a close-up. I have the head and body info, if I have it. For some of them, I just have the photos, and it was before I was cataloging head and body info. But I do have like details about the body, like if it's a twist and turn waist, bend and snap legs, you know, just things like that. I have essentially all the info that I am able to get, and hopefully it will help you guys with identifying. But it's been so much fun, and it is by no means perfect. Please don't come for me. I have the photos on a red background to just so that nobody steals my photos, and also so that I can distinguish that they're mine. But I hope you guys enjoy going out and looking at my Flickr. I will post a link to it in the description below, and I'm so excited because a lot of you have asked me, like, you said that you were thinking about doing a Flickr. I would be very interested in that. So every time I get new dolls after I fix them, it may take a while, but you'll see them on my Flickr. If I have gotten any dolls from you guys, my subscribers, a lot of them are actually on there, so you'll get to see what they look like now, being all fixed up. And in general, I am just super excited about it. So if you want to go and check it out, I will link it in the description, like I said. But that is the thing that I wanted to share with you all here at the end of 2023. But once again, I just want to thank you so much for sticking with me through this year, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye!